What's going on, guilty guys and gals? Welcome to this video. Something that was requested of me a bit ago, and then I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, totally. And then I didn't because I didn't know how to do it. But we're just going to give it our best shot, and we'll see how it goes. Basically, what I'm going to do is a little behind the scenes on Heather's But It's Danganronpa, the Sprite video thing I did back around Christmas, and then Be More Chill next week. The idea behind this was basically somebody asked, there's a number of people who sort of like wonder about why I cast people as certain things, which makes sense because, I mean, it's clear in my brain, but that obviously doesn't get across all the time. And I wasn't just going to write like an essay in the description describing why I was going to do all that. So we'll just do a short video now for everybody who is actually interested, which I don't know how many people that'll be, but hey, it's worth a shot. Also, I just like talking about it. So here we go. This is my Heather's Headcanon Danganronpa. Now, the first people that I cast were the Heathers, obviously, because now, obviously, I'm not the first person. I've said obviously a lot. Oh, no. Anyway, I'm not the first person who's done this. I think there's 2 or 3 versions of Candy Store out there other than mine, and at least a couple more of other songs. But the way I tried to make this different was by doing the whole thing and also by switching up the casting roles a bit. Most people make Junko Heather Chandler, which I don't understand why. She's like mean, I guess. I guess that's the reason why. But I totally thought it should definitely be Hiyoko, for sure. It should be Hiyoko. Because, like, she's not evil, but she is, like, mean, certainly. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And then, like, Ibuki and Mikan could be the other 2 Heathers. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Mikan basically becomes super evil when Hiyoko dies. That tracks from the game as well. And then Ibuki, that one's kind of hard. Ibuki as Heather McNamara was, like, really hard for me to actually justify. I wanted the trio of them to be the Heathers and then Veronica to be Mahiru, because that was another idea I had earlier on. But yeah, Ibuki and McNamara don't have much in common. I only went through with it because I saw somebody describe Heather McNamara as the weird Heather. Like, Duke is like the sad Heather and Chandler's the mean Heather. McNamara is like the weird Heather. She's also the most redeemable out of the 3 of them as well, so there you go. And I had some trouble with sprites, especially in Lifeboat, because Ibuki is rarely ever sad, especially in her sprites. Like, there's only 2 or 3 that are kind of, like, unsure. So I had to do some creative work in there, and I don't know how well it went, but oh well. It's one of my more viewed videos out of this, so that's a thing. Yeah, but those 3 were the first I came up with. And after that, I was like, okay. And then Veronica can be played by Mahiru, because, you know, that makes sense. And that was another thing that I didn't like about the other ones, is everyone chooses Chiaki for Veronica. And, like, they don't really act the same. Chiaki is very, I want to say, like, caring, and Veronica isn't necessarily that. She's much more confident, I guess, and like gung-ho, and just goes to do her own thing for most of the play, leaving her friends behind. And that's not really something that Chiaki would do. Now, is it something Mahiru would do? I don't know. But we barely got to see anything from her. God damn it, DR2. But she definitely has, like, the most connections with the other characters I chose, and she's also sort of she's more impulsive than Chiaki, so I think, you know, her ending up with JD makes more sense than Chiaki, for example. And then it just sort of fell down that Martha should be Sato, because, you know, Mahiru's old friend who's trying to compete with her new friends, that's basically what Martha is, after all. And I had to find some Sato sprites, which was a harder ordeal than it should have been. I'm surprised nobody's made, like, Sato sprites, because there are, like, Ryoko sprites from the manga. Not manga. I think it was just a light novel. But, and they're really good. And there's like Mukuro sprites that are really good as well. And I'm not saying the Sato sprites aren't good. It's just they're not in the same style, right? They're in somebody else's own style. They're not like a mock-up sprite. They're more of like a, this is my AU sprite. So that was an ordeal. After that, I kind of got a little bit nervous because I was like, I don't know who to put in the rest of these roles. This was the first time I'd ever done this, so it was a little bit weird. I was stuck on Ram and Kurt for a long time because part of me was like, I don't know, maybe it should be Taka and Mondo because the whole like gay suicide note thing, I guess. I don't know, maybe. And then I was like, well, yeah, but Taka's not like an athlete. Mondo is not really like an athlete either, but at least he's like muscular. And then I was like, well, I could go with like Nekomaru or something, but I really didn't like that either because Nekomaru's a lot of things that I don't like annoying, but he's not an asshole. Whereas Mondo kind of is. Like, he literally punches you at the beginning of the game. So he's a nice guy in the end, but he comes off as rude. And I think that's why he ended up being Kurt, because Kurt is sort of the more redeemable of the two of them as well. Ram is always picking a fight, and then Kurt gets drawn in afterwards. Kurt's like, no, we don't have to fight them. And then, you know, they do end up fighting. And so just thinking about that, I was like, oh, Leon. That's what Leon did in the thing. He got like somebody like rubbed him the wrong way, and then he picked a fight with them when he didn't have to. That's literally his character. And I was like, well, Leon's not like super muscular either, but I could see him playing sports, especially as like I guess he's the quarterback. I was going to say running back, but whatever. That doesn't really matter. It just fits better. And yeah, that's sort of the reason why there was a comment was like, I expect this of Leon, but why Mondo? It's basically just like Leon gets into fights and then Mondo gets brought into them with him. That's sort of how Ram and Kurt work in the play as well. So yeah, there we go. Fleming was next. Miss Fleming, the crazy psychologist. Nobody really fits that bill super well either. So I just picked Peko because Peko and Mahiru have sort of a rivalry given their killing game status. And Peko sort of looks like older. That's something that I kind of struggled with. And that's why we never got like My Dead Gay Son as a song, is because I just couldn't pick people that would be like these people's dad and stuff. It was really rough trying to figure that out. Especially not having played V3 or Ultra Despair Girls yet. Yeah, there just wasn't a lot of characters to pick from. But I did eventually just land on Peko, which left me with JD. And I really didn't want to do Nagito for JD, even though it's super perfect. Like, it's too perfect. Literally everyone else on the internet has done it. And I really didn't like the idea of, like, Mahiru and Nagito being, like, a couple. That really rubbed me the wrong way. But it ended up having to happen. And I think it sort of still works because, again, Nagito is not, like... Just like JD, Nagito's not really an evil dude as much as he is just doing things that are good in the absolutely worst way anyone could possibly think of, which is basically JD's whole character as well. So I'll hand it to the internet. That fits way too well for even me to change it, and my whole plan was to change them all. So there's some minor roles that I'm going to talk about really quick because they might not make sense to people as well. Obviously, the principal being Taka, because Taka's the freaking hall monitor. And the coach being Hiro, because every gym teacher I've ever had probably shouldn't have been a gym teacher. I only had one gym teacher that was actually, like, into physical activity. The rest of my gym teachers are just kind of like, maybe they were like that when they started, but now they just want to get class done as soon as possible. And that's literally what the coach... The only line that Coach Ripper gets is like, you should cancel classes, which seems very much like Hiro. He just wants to be lazy. Yeah, so that's why the cops in what is it? It's Me Inside of Me, and I think they show up later as well. Oh no, that's not in a song. Anyway, they ended up being Akane and Nekomaru because in DR2, Akane and Nekomaru are constantly trying to protect the students. Like, you know, Akane fights Monokuma to try to get them out, and then Nekomaru protects Akane, and later he sacrifices himself in a really dumb way in order to get them out of the funhouse. And yeah, the cops in this play are not smart. They are not, they're not competent. And that sort of fits the Akane Nekomaru thing. Like, they're trying to help people in, again, like, just not the best ways. Now, probably the most, like, the roles that you would only get by listening to this video are Veronica's parents. The reason they're Hajime and Chiaki is, well, we'll start with Chiaki because that one actually makes sense. Most people have Chiaki be Veronica, as I said before. And the reason why I made her Veronica's mother is because she has a line where she says, "I know exactly what you're going through." And that was just sort of a nod to the fact that Chiaki is almost always Veronica. And then Hajime sort of fell in because I was going to make Hajime JD for a while. I even like started spriting, I guess, putting the sprites in to, what was it? I think it was like, I started with the more exciting songs. So I started with Dead Girl Walking Part 2, maybe. And I tried to put him in as like Izuru, and I was like, no, there's only one Izuru sprite. If there were more, I might have slowly had him transition into being Izuru over the course of the thing. But no, there's only like 3. So I wasn't going to deal with that the whole time. It was over. So I just threw him in as Veronica's dad as sort of a internal nod to what I wanted to do but couldn't do, and it didn't turn out. The last thing I just want to touch on really quick before I end the video is the water pistol. Now, I didn't see anybody actually comment about that, and I don't know if people were like, oh yeah, that's just a gag. It pretty much just was. Originally, I was looking for, when I was looking for pistols with transparent backgrounds that were facing the way I needed, like they were profile views, I couldn't find any. All of them were at a weird angle. They had a shadow. The background wasn't actually transparent. They were facing forward. I couldn't find any like that. And I was literally like, why can't I find any of these? Only the water pistols are horizontal. And then I was like, maybe I'll just use the water pistol. And originally I was going to replace it eventually with just a regular one. And then I never did. And I was like, well, you know what? This is fine. It's just a funny gag. So that's how it happened. The other sort of behind the scenes sort of funny thing, I guess there's 2. The flashing red lights in the end of the finale the finale episode. I don't know if I can call them episodes, but whatever. In the finale, I was supposed to re-export that project because I fixed them a bit so they weren't as frequent and it wasn't as annoying. Also, there's a break in the song when I don't put any sprites there where I had cleared that so that it would just stay black and then it would come back. And I forgot to do it, apparently. I just uploaded the old version. So, yeah, you got to see basically an unfinished product and you didn't know the whole time. It's my most viewed video. Actually, no, I think it's been surpassed by Memesicle by this point. But, yeah, every time I look at that, I'm like, dang it. And there's one more error in the very last song, 17 Reprise. There's a point at the very end of the song, which is, I guess, the best place for an error to be because most people won't make it that far. There's a part with Sakura and Aoi, and they're supposed to be on either side of Veronica and Sato. Veronica and Sato? Why did I say it that way? Mahiru and Sato. And I accidentally forgot to set Aoi's values. So she's literally like behind in between a little bit. Oh, that makes me so sad. I think I commented on that one like, dang it, I missed one. But yeah, that's just not a great feeling. I was like, it's so perfect. I'm so proud of it. And then there was that. And I was like, no. The other thing I just want to ask you all really quick is if I posted the sprites, the black jacket Nagito, and red Hiyoko, blue Mahiru, the custom sprites I did for it. They're not really that custom. I literally just adjusted the hues on their clothes. Ibuki's was the most work because her freaking clothes are the same color as her hair, so I can't just color select it. If people want those, I can post them on Twitter. I think I'd probably have to do a few tweets with them, but I still have those all saved. All the custom ones I keep, even the like the blue eyes and the Halloween costumes from Be More Chill I still have, just in case I ever need to, like, I don't know, go back and do something with them like this. So yeah, if you guys want them, just leave a comment telling me, yeah, post them, dude. I'll take them. I'll do something with them, or I'll just like look at them sometimes. I don't know. I'll definitely do it. I have no qualms with putting them out there. I mean, mine are the original. That's fine. I don't really care. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other sort of fun tidbit, I guess, I can enlighten you all on is, which was the first song I did? The first song I did was Candy Store, and that was going to be it, but then I decided to do more. The last song I finished was, I think it was 17. Because I did 17 Reprise, and then I went back to 17 to fix a couple things so that they matched up a little bit better. I really don't like 17 as a song. I don't know what it is. It's not a bad song by all intents and purposes, but that was the last one I finished. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the insider info anyone could ever need for my silly sprite video. Yeah, I'm going to do one for Be More Chill as well, because I think that one has even more reasons for my casting. It makes even more sense. I'd maybe say that it makes more sense with Danganronpa than Heather's does, and I thought Heather's made almost perfect sense with Danganronpa. So there we go. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. This is 17 minutes. Yikes. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you want the sprites, you should comment below, and I will post them. Thank you all for watching again. I think I already said that. Have a good day. See you later.